All right, hey guys, welcome to the video. If you're new here, my name's Curtis. Fall, it's officially here. It's that time of the year when the leaves are changing outside. It's just beautiful and it brings a sense of excitement for me because I love wearing fall fragrances, and even more specifically, I love wearing amber. These deep, rich textures that you can experience during this time of the year is something that I absolutely enjoy. So I've gone through my collection. I've chosen 5 fragrances that feature the note of amber. Some fragrances may not feature that note specifically, however, they wear ambery. And so that's why they're featured on this list. So if you're curious to hear my thoughts and opinions on these fragrances, then let's go. First up from the house of Maison Violet, we have Sketch. Man, so this one is just a beautiful patchouli and vanilla combo. This one does wear quite ambery on my skin, hence why it's on this list. There's some powdery nuances to this as well. And this kind of harkens slightly at a vintage vibe. Just very slightly, but it is quite modern. But man, what a beautiful wear this one is. This one was created by one of my favorite perfumers, Natalie Lorsan. And she created, I think, the majority of the, if not all the fragrances from the house of Maison Violet, which is an extremely underrated fragrance house in my opinion. But man, yeah, if you haven't experienced that house, you definitely should. They have some amazing fragrances, Sketch being a 10 out of 10 for me personally. And also they have Un Air d'Apogée. It's a beautiful kind of honey tobacco fragrance, which I've talked about on the channel many times. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. But yeah, Sketch is one of those fragrances that, you know, it's just very warm, has a woody presence to it. And yeah, like I said, there's even a slight dustiness about this one that I absolutely enjoy. But yeah, like I said, this one wears quite ambery on my skin. And just, I don't know, this represents elegance, sophistication, and class in my opinion. But one thing that you might notice if you're going or searching for this fragrance online, or maybe going to a boutique, is now Maison Violet has different bottle styles, which I'm a little disappointed by. I absolutely love these old style bottles. Now these are a little bit thin. I prefer kind of thicker bottles. However, I just like the design of it, just the way it kind of looks. It just looks so sophisticated, elegant, and classy in my opinion. These will hurt somebody. These are extremely weighty. I think nowadays they have magnetic caps, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I really prefer the older bottle design, so it's kind of a bummer that they switched out. So yeah, you cannot get this bottle design anymore, unfortunately. And for me, I remember when I was buying Sketch, I knew that they were switching over the bottle design. So when I went in, this was the last bottle in the old design that they had. So I immediately had to scoop it up. But yeah, like I said, just a beautiful amber fragrance, kind of gives you slight vintage vibes. And it has this subtle powdery nuance running through it, but beautiful, stunning, and it's definitely one to check out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Sketch by Maison Violet. Next up from the house of Jeroboam, we have Ambre. Man, so this is just ambery, spicy goodness. I love this fragrance. Basically what you're getting here is amber, some vanilla, and it comes off quite balsamic. So you have to be a fan of balsamic style of fragrances. There is a bit of incense in here very subtly, but it's bringing like this smoky like quality to this. It's pushed into the background, but you can definitely pick it up. And you're getting this kind of spiciness from some geranium in here as well. But man, what a beautiful take on amber this one is. If you're not familiar with the House of Jeroboam, they are an amazing fragrance house that I've talked about so many times on the channel, but they are the sister company of Javoy, and so they kind of sit in the shadows of Javoy. But man, stunning, stunning house. And I think they produce 100 ml bottles nowadays too, but before they would only produce 30 ml extrait de parfum concentrations. And this size is perfect for me in my own collection. You know, I do live here in Japan, so I'm quite limited on space, and I keep all of my fragrances in kind of chilled, kind of wine coolers, so that way I can maintain a constant temperature control. So fragrances that are this size fit perfectly in my collection. So whenever it's possible, I always try to buy the smaller bottle size. It just works for me in my own collection, and yeah, with the amount of fragrances that I have, it's a way for me to kind of prevent waste. It's difficult for me to even burn through a 30 ml bottle because I wear different fragrances each day. And especially when you have fragrances that are potent like this, it doesn't require a whole lot of sprays. I do maybe 2-3 sprays sometimes. You could even get away with one and you'd be fine. It really kind of depends on where I'm going and what I'm going to be doing, the atmosphere that I'll be in, and I adjust my sprays accordingly based off that. But man, Jeroboam is a stunning house. All of their fragrances are just home runs in my opinion, and Ambre is at the top of that list. Beautiful balsamic amber fragrance, and definitely one to check out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Ambre by Jeroboam. Next up, going to the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian, we have Grand Soir. Now this isn't a fragrance I'm going to spend a whole lot of time on. So many other people have talked about this fragrance, but you know, the reason why they're talking about it is because it really is that good. This is just a simple, well-constructed vanillic amber fragrance. It's very simple, but it works. Sometimes that's all you need, really. You don't need, sometimes you'll look at fragrances and you'll see these very complex note breakdowns. There's just endless amount of notes. This one is just very simple, but it's just constructed extremely well, and it works. It just works. Just a very simple yet sophisticated and classy amber kind of vanillic scent. Man, and this is one of those fragrances that I've worn here in Japan that when I do wear this one, I do one spray because off my skin, this one is quite beastly. It pushes out heavily. It leaves a massive trail. So I need to kind of be careful with, you know, how I wear this fragrance here. But the reactions that I've got from wearing this fragrance have been very positive. This one, you know, I'm not one to receive a whole lot of compliments from when I wear my fragrances, but this one has brought in compliments. It's just very well received. And so, yeah, I can understand the hype behind this one. It's really that good, and it's definitely one to check out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Grand Soir by MFK. Next up from the house of Chanel, we have Le Lion. Yeah, so this is a newer fragrance to my collection, but man, what a stunner this one is. And I'll be honest, when I was first searching and dove into the Les Exclusives line, I didn't expect to really enjoy this one as much as I have. But yeah, this one definitely popped on my radar when I had gone to the boutique and I started smelling fragrances. The first one that popped on my radar was 1957, and then this one really spoke to me as well. And I have to admit, a bit of fragrance snobbery here. The Les Exclusives line, I neglected for a very long time, just because, I don't know, I felt like it was overly popular, and I think that's one reason why I wanted to stay away from the House of Chanel. But you know, again, it's just a prime example of just me being a snob. And I think also too, it was kind of like, oh, it's designer, and yeah, I don't know, it was just my own mental hurdle and something that I needed to get over. And now I try to see fragrance not as designer or niche, but as art, and that's how I try to experience fragrance now. But again, I still have those kind of mental hurdles and struggles at times. But yeah, I've gotten better at kind of working through those times. But man, this is a beautiful kind of mainly ambery fragrance that has a labdanum kind of smoky dry down. Man, this one is so intoxicatingly good. There is a kind of a slight leathery nuance that starts to push forward in here as well. But man, what a stunning, elegant wear this one is. And this is one of those fragrances too, if you smell the Les Exclusives line, you can kind of smell like, if I were to smell them blindly, I could be like, okay, this one is Chanel, this one is Chanel, this one is Chanel. I don't think I would be able to say this one is Chanel with Le Lion. Like, there's something different about it. A lot of times, you know, with the Chanel fragrances, they're very well known for their aldehydes and musks. Now this one goes in a different direction. Like, I feel like Le Lion kind of is set apart from the rest of the Les Exclusives line. And that's what kind of makes this one quite unique to me. But yeah, what a beautiful, beautiful wear. You know, you definitely have to like those kind of resinous type of ambery, even slightly smoky fragrances to appreciate this one. But man, beautiful in my opinion, and it's definitely one to check out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Le Lion by Chanel. And finally, from the house of Maksim Perfume, we have Ambre de Noir. Man, so this one is just a very deep, rich, warm, aromatic, and woody fragrance. All right, so what you get upon initial spray with this one is you get some green notes and some saffron, and then you have kind of a floral and tobacco-y heart, and then once you start to push into the dry down, you get some ambery tones that really start to push forward, and there's a slight powderiness that's running through this fragrance as well, and some vanilla that pushes forward, but man, what a beautifully and well-constructed fragrance. This is such a deep, rich, and opulent smelling ambery style of fragrance, one that I absolutely enjoy. And also in here, you also get some chocolatey-like tones that just add to the overall composition, providing a bit more depth and character to this. But what a stunning one from the house of Maksim Perfume. I talk about Maksim Perfume a ton on this channel because I'm such a huge supporter of the brand. If you're looking for fragrances that come off quite natural, that are unique, that can tell a story, and that will take you on a journey, you should definitely check out this brand. I mean, their entire line is phenomenal. Now, they do focus, like most of their fragrances, focus on the note of oud. So if you're not so accustomed to the note of oud, some of these might be challenging for you, but I mean, if you are looking for pure art in a bottle, then definitely check out Maksim Perfume. Stunning house, in my opinion, and definitely one of my favorites. Ambre de Noir is one that, like I said, it's just very deep, rich, and opulent. The perfect amber fragrance for fall and even winter. And I would say in terms of their fragrance line, this might be one of the more easier wears, but man, that doesn't take away from its artistic quality. This is a stunner, and it's definitely one to check out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Ambre de Noir by Maksim Perfume. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. And let me know down in the comments section, what are some of your favorite amber perfumes to wear in the fall and winter? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Well, I hope you guys are staying healthy and well, and I'll see you in the next video.